Just wanted to make a video sort of dedicated to Kingcobrajfs, Joshua Faye Saunders. This is probably something really different for me to put on my channel. I don't really upload a lot anymore. This channel's been a knife review sort of channel. Start off as like a video game review channel. Like I've kind of been all over the place. I don't know. This sort of took a back seat. My passion for doing videos lately. I've just been kind of stressed out. Sort of been suffering with my own demons. This is sort of leading me to my point here. I'm not trying to make this about me, but over the last few years, I was sort of following Josh King Cobra on YouTube. I believe when I was first introduced, he was living in the apartment before all that stuff happened with like Jessica and everything, and I genuinely enjoyed watching his videos. Sure, you can call him a lol cow. You can laugh at him. You can do whatever you want on that guy. He still uploaded his videos. He still stayed true to himself. He still provided countless hours of entertainment, regardless of how you look at him. It was clear he was struggling with a lot of substance abuse issues with alcohol and things like that. But that's neither here nor there, except for the fact that it obviously had a pretty large effect on his life. I'm kind of just going by the seat of my pants with this here. Didn't want to have a script or any sort of notes. It's just I was feeling pretty bummed out about the whole situation, which is weird because I've never met the guy in my life. I live in Canada. He lives in America, Casper, Wyoming. I live in Ontario, Canada. Like that's thousands of miles away. So why am I sad about it? Well, I think a lot of us sort of found a safe place with Josh and had an appreciation for him. I wasn't there from the beginning, I can't lie, but I have watched a lot of his previous videos from his backlogs, and it's kind of wild to see the changes he went through over the last few years. What I found deplorable, though, was how some people were speaking to him in the comments, the way people talked about him. It was disgusting, frankly. Now, I'm not saying he was perfect, and I'm not saying he didn't maybe even deserve some things that were said to him. That's not where I'm going with this. But what I am saying is I found it pretty sad that it took his passing for all of us to come together and share how we felt about him. He could have used that, I think, when he was, here. My heart goes out to Clint and his family. I couldn't imagine losing a son. No father should ever have to outlive his son. And for that, Clint, I'm extremely sorry. You'll probably never see this video, for all I know, but I just want to extend my deepest condolences to you, to your family, to you and your family, and let you know that a lot of us did love King Cobra. A lot of us love Josh, and a lot of us will continue to love him. He's not going to be forgotten anytime soon. I can guarantee you that. So, I had a couple drinks last night. I poured a few out for Josh. I had a bit of a food hack combo today. I didn't record it. It was sort of just a spur of the moment sort of thing. I'm trying to slow down on my drinking now. This has kind of made me realize that... Hi, Scott. How are you, man? Eris Scott. All this has kind of made me realize that all of us have a very short time on this planet. And there's nothing wrong with enjoying it. But I think we all kind of need to slow down on our drinking if we're into it as hard as maybe Josh and I am. I drink every day. I'll level with you. Every single day I drink. Minimum 6 beers. That's not a lot, maybe from certain perspectives, but for a guy like me, it is. And I'm doing okay, man. Thank you. I'm doing okay. I just been working really into my knife collecting, of course, still. That's kind of what this whole channel is, but I got the news about Josh the other day. And that hit me pretty fucking hard, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen countless of my favorite celebrities pass away, like Robin Williams, Ozzy Osbourne recently, Hulk Hogan, normally it's like, oh shit, that sucks, right? And you kind of move on with your day, you maybe put on some of their old movies or songs or shows or anything to kind of, relive those glory days that you had when you discovered them when you were a kid or whatever, right? But with Josh, it really felt weird and different. It was like my ritual at a certain point had been kind of coming back and just relaxing, throwing on some of his videos. I know that might sound weird to a lot of people, especially those who like don't really know who he is, obviously, so I don't even know why they'd be watching this video. I'm not really good at this, as you can tell, but I was rooting for him really, really hard. You know, I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear about your brother, man. Was it like a like a really quick, sudden thing, or was it an accident? That's awful, man. I'm sorry. I don't have a brother or anything like that, but I don't think I could even fathom losing a family like that. Like, my father passed away, and that broke me. That was in 2018. So losing family is probably one of the hardest things I think a person can go through. That, losing pets and friends. Death sucks. We can all fucking agree on that. I think, no matter how different we are, I think that's the one thing we can all agree upon. And I'm really sorry that you're having a bad day, Scott. But I don't want you to feel like you're hopeless and that nobody cares out of everything that you're going through right now, because people do care. I don't even know you, and I can tell you right now that I care about your situation, because I've been through hard days too, just like everyone else has, and nobody should have to feel like they're going through that alone. And that's, kind of how I feel like maybe Josh was feeling. Probably felt pretty alone. Like a lot of people, they trolled him. They sent him alcohol to basically fuel his addiction. And I don't know if they thought it was funny to watch him go downhill, but that shit really irks me the wrong way. I'm not saying I did anything to help his situation, Man, you can't blame yourself for that, dude. Scott, I don't know if you're okay if I call you that. I don't know if that's, but I think that's a natural reaction when we lose someone close to us, that we blame it upon ourselves to say, hey, you weren't there for them, or I could have done more, I should have done more. That's natural. We all feel like that, man. But I can tell you right now, it was not on you. Okay? I'm sure you were there as a brother. You could have had a falling out, And besides all that, just the matter of the fact is that you feel that way shows that you had a deep love for that person too. It shows that you loved your brother, and you still do. And I'm really sorry, man. So, I was sort of just coming here to kind of talk about a few things that I noticed about Josh and why I thought he was such an awesome person. He stayed true to himself in all of his videos. He shared his opinions regardless of what anybody else thought of him. He was very open about being himself. He was open about having Asperger's and the daily struggles that he went through and the bullying that he had faced. He didn't try to hide anything. He just came out unapologetically himself. Even if that meant coming out and not looking his best, and everyone was so quick to pick him apart on every little aspect of his appearance, or of just whatever they could get their friggin'... Sorry, but I would hope that we can all sort of take something from this, that the way we treat people does, in fact, have an impact, and the things we say don't go forgotten, and that they do live on. And then I would hope that some people take this as a realization and a wake-up call to live their lives to the best of their own abilities, to take care of themselves, and to surround themselves with people who support them and make them happy. Yeah, it does feel like you lose a piece of yourself when people pass away, especially someone so close to you, man. May I ask how old your brother was, Scott? Addiction's fucking awful, man. I'm just pouring myself a coffee here, I hope you don't mind. But I was an addict for quite a few years. I don't know if I've shared that on this channel or not, but I can understand that fight. I was addicted to fentanyl and crack cocaine for a few years. And then I met a girl. She had a daughter, about 1 year old. We were together for about 6 or 7 years. And then whatever happened, she just decided she kind of wanted to do her own thing. She had a lot of issues herself too, and she decided to stop taking her meds, and she went on her own kind of little self-destruction path that she's on still to this day. But I still have my stepdaughter in my life, and because of those people that I met and the relationship that I was in, it helped me get through my addiction, but something that claws at me to this day, so I can understand how fucking hard that is, man. 21 years old, man. Fuck, dude. I'm sorry. That's really young. I'm sorry, Scott. So you guys were close, I take it, eh? You know, I couldn't imagine losing a brother. But I don't know. I just figured I'd do this live stream, and whoever wants to kind of come in and just share some thoughts, if you're having a hard time, I'm here to listen. Same with you, Scott. If there's anything, you want to talk about even outside of this, you can feel free to reach me on Instagram, or even I think you can message me through here. But my Instagram is Ominous Edge, and if you want to shoot me a DM on there too, man, we can keep in touch. That way I don't lose track of you, okay? Or I'll find you in the comment section here or something. But yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. I don't really deal with death very well, but fuck that. I'm gonna actually spark up something different for King Cobra. This is just tobacco box. This ain't weed or nothing like that. I don't care about monetization and shit, so I do what I want on my channel. Yeah, drugs are the devil, literally, man. Drugs are the closest thing, addiction is the closest thing to hell I think we have on this fucking planet. I don't know where you're from, but I can tell you that addiction has been running rampant in the city that I live in. It's become almost a part of this city, to the point where there's tent cities everywhere, people sleeping in the streets, hypodermic needles. I find myself stepping over at least one or two a day, even in I wouldn't say upper class neighborhoods, but you know what I mean? Like this whole, it seems like everywhere is going downhill with drugs. It seems like there's no unreachable corner of the planet that can't be touched by addiction, which is kind of fucking scary if you think about it. I feel like addiction is something also that it can't be, you can't change someone's mind on whether they're going to want to do drugs or not. You know, that's something that's so burned into that person once they become an addict. It becomes almost second nature. It's blinking. It's something you don't really, you think about it, but it's like it's a controlled state in your head that just, it drives you towards it before anything else. Like when I was an addict, I would have left probably everything behind. I would have fucked over my own parents and done things that I wouldn't even fathom to do now, because that was the only thing driving me. It wasn't about, oh, I need to eat because I'm hungry. I need to do this. I need to go to the bathroom, or I need to go outside and take care of myself today. It was, I need to get my fix. How am I going to do that? How am I going to supply myself with the resources? How am I going to come across it? Where am I? Like, that's all it was. So don't blame yourself, because I'm telling you, Addiction eats people. It eats everything. It eats away at your soul. It eats away at who you are as a person, your personality, everything. Addiction is probably the only thing in this life that I think I will take to my grave. As fucked up as that is to say, what else do I, like, I'm an addict even now. I don't do anything besides really, I smoke my green, which is legal here, marijuana, completely legal in my province. And I like my tobacco products and nicotine. I drink. Like I said, I drink every day. And I'm trying so hard to not do that. But after, it doesn't matter what I do. Like, at the end of the day, it calls to me, no matter what. Like, I can get through my mornings and stuff, but even right now, like, I would drink if I had it. And that would be my day. Sitting in my little cave here, which is not a very big apartment. I've got my room and my bathroom over there and stuff. My kitchen's across here, and yeah, man, this is kind of where it's where I reside. And seeing what happened to Josh Saunders kind of really clicked in with me, because I feel like I've been pretty close to going down a road of self-destruction again. And that boy did not deserve to go out like that. I don't know. I don't want to say it was like unexpected, because we all saw his health deteriorating, but for him to just be there one day and then not the next, and especially so close with the passing of Ozzy. And if you go through and look at a lot of the comments, like through Josh's recent uploads, but if you go and look through a lot of his recent uploads, you can see a lot of the comments on his appearance and how he looked very bloated, and his skin wasn't looking very healthy, his hair and things like that. Now, I'm not trying to pick him apart or say anything negative about him, but you could tell that he was getting sick, his health was deteriorating, and he was a do-it-yourself kind of guy, right? Like, I don't think he liked to ask for help. And you can say whatever, like, you know what? If you don't have anything positive to say about him, you can just, don't even bother saying anything at all. Because none of us are perfect, but one thing I do not do is disrespect the dead. So, if you're a fan of King Cobra, or you watched his videos, whether you were a new viewer or an OG, I was sort of definitely a newer viewer for the past 3 years, I'd say 3 or 4 years I've been watching his videos. So, I didn't get to see him go from the point of like super healthy, normal young Josh to where he was weeks ago. But I can tell you, I saw a guy who was struggling every single day and still got up and still tried, despite what people said, despite the way they treated him. Your parents got divorced yesterday, buddy. How old are you, man? Your uncle wants you to get a job. That's actually probably a good idea, man. I know in your mindset right now it might seem impossible to do tasks like that, but getting your mind off of things and finding something productive to put that energy towards is almost therapeutic in your own, or in its own. It might not be glamorous work, but I'll tell you right now, buddy, I'll be honest with you. My life ain't so glamorous when it comes to my work. I've done construction, I've been all over, but right now, you want to know what I do for a living? I make burgers for a living. All right, buddy? I'm 36 years old. I work at a food chain here in Aurelia that does smash burgers. It's the only one in town that does them, okay? And I've never saw myself working behind a grill or in a fast food environment, okay? And all my coworkers are, well, not all of them, but most of them, the 90% of them are all younger than me, and they're all female, bro. So let's just say I don't exactly feel super confident about all that, but I make enough money there that I can work 4 days a week, still pay my rent in my apartment. My rent's $1,300 plus my hydro I gotta pay, plus my internet, plus everything else, and I can still survive fairly comfortably. And that in itself has given me a sense of freedom, which is probably the most valuable thing I could ask for. I can come home and it's my little cave. It's my little place, man. You dropped out of school, Scott. It sounds like you're having a lot of back-to-back things happen to you, man. But think of this. I dropped out of school too, probably when I was around your age. And, well, I didn't drop out. I got kicked out. I was fighting and doing stupid stuff like that. But I went on my own little warpath for a bit. And then after I kind of smartened up, I ended up in an adult learning center. And that probably would have been when I was, what, 22? So I was coasting for many years, buddy. And I ended up going, yeah, back to an adult learning center, and I graduated when I was 27. Okay? I was definitely behind all of my peers and wasn't where I thought I was going to be at that time in my life, but I made it. You know what I mean? I did it. I got it done. And then, I found myself living the family man life. That didn't pan out the way I thought it would either. I found myself in rooming homes. I never really had my own apartment to myself. I never thought I would really have anything. When you're in that position and you're in a point of despair and at rock bottom, it doesn't feel like there's any recourse. It doesn't feel like there's anywhere to go. But in reality, the old saying is true. When you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up from there. You can crash through that second floor, but don't let yourself. That is entirely up to you and where you want to go from this point. And you sound like a strong young man, especially for 16. So I would hope that you don't, I would hope that you can find the strength within yourself to do the things that are difficult. Okay? You gotta go, buddy. That's cool, man. All right? I want you to know that you're cared about. And you can always come back and you can talk to people here. You can talk to me. If you need to reach out, man, I'm always here, okay? You will see me again, buddy. I'm always around, okay? You're loved. Don't forget that, okay? And you're not alone. I really hope he's okay. I was not expecting really anyone to kind of join, especially into the chat, but maybe, things happen for a reason, and I hope Scott's okay. He sounds like a lost young man who just needs a little bit of guidance. And we've all been there. Every single one of us. Just different, right? Different situations. But yeah, I feel pretty lost today, which is weird. I've just been watching a lot of King Cobra tribute videos, seeing, honestly, videos of Josh I've never even seen before. He really was a beautiful soul. I don't care what anybody says. Josh was a one-of-a-kind boy, one-of-a-kind man. And he had a big heart. And that was evident through the way he treated animals, the way he treated people. He'd let anybody come over and have a drink and smoke cigarettes with them. And what else can you ask in a brother and a friend? Someone to just sit and listen and talk with you. And I'm pretty broken up. I don't even know why I came on live to make this video at this point now. I'm clearly not very good at this sort of thing. I wouldn't like to say it, I don't say it's wasted time or anything like that, but I don't know. I really hope Clint and his family are doing okay. And I'm sure there's a lot of people like myself right now that are pretty torn up over Josh. I'm gonna miss coming home and throwing on his videos and watching his dank food hacks and dank drink combos, seeing him make his crazy fucking meads. He was a mad scientist. That's what Josh was. He was a mad scientist, if there ever was one. Making potions and wands. He was his own He was his own man, that boy. There won't be anyone ever like him. He can't be replaced. And I don't think I've missed an internet personality like I missed Josh, and I've never even met him. I think I sent him one actual private message at one point. I was going to try to get a wand and maybe just, shoot the shit with the guy. Maybe, honestly, this sounds crazy, but I was thinking maybe one day, I'll go fucking visit the guy, go have a beer with him, and just chill. Because he seemed like someone I would probably get along with. He's a loner like me. He had and he loved people, but you could tell I think felt like he was more comfortable and he was just kind of doing his own thing, you know what I mean? And maybe that was because he was protecting himself, because people can be pretty cruel and mean and hurtful. And if you go through a lot of his old comments, you can see that in spades. And how people would speak to this guy. And, I'm not saying he was, like I say, I'm not saying he was perfect, but it doesn't cost anything to be nice to somebody. You know what I mean? And you don't really gain anything from putting somebody down and breaking them down and treating them like they're beneath you. So I hope that goes out to a lesson to all the people who treated Josh unfairly and were unkind to him. I hope you're happy now, because we lost somebody who means more than you guys ever will. You couldn't fathom the kindness that kid had in his heart. You couldn't fathom the fights that he had when he woke up every single day and had to read strings and strings and strings of messages of people putting him down, calling him regarded, and some of it was in jokey spirits, whatever. We all like to have fun, but some of y'all were just downright nasty. And you're pathetic for the way you spoke to him. Now, like I said, I'm not one without sin, and I'm not one without making mistakes in my life. And sure, you could sit here and you could judge me for my mistakes in my past. But I sit in front of you with nothing but an honest heart and an open mind. And I feel like Josh had the same open mind and open heart as I do. And that's kind of why I was gravitating towards his videos. And I didn't see him as just some dude to sit there and laugh at. I saw him as just some guy struggling with a lot of different things in his life, but he put his whole life out there for everyone to see. Who can say, any of you can say you do that? Like, I know his apartment layout just as well as I know mine. Like, that's crazy. That kid was fearless when it came to that stuff. He'd sing, play guitar, didn't matter. Just wanted to entertain people. And you guys said he was e-bagging and all this crap. And you know what? Even if he was still out there trying and doing what he felt like he could do with his own passions, making videos and entertaining people. And we all lined up to watch it. But for some reason, he was the bad guy. So, I don't know. I just wanted to make this video and say rest in peace to King Cobra, Joshua Faye Saunders, and see if there were any other fans out there who are sort of feeling as broken up about this as I am. I might delete this video, I don't know. I really don't know. I just wasn't feeling so good today. Woke up with a really fucking bad hangover, and I was thinking about that last night when I was with my friends, and none of my friends knew who he was, and I didn't really have anybody to talk to about it, and I'm feeling pretty fucking sad. So I really hope that people can reach out to Clint and drop some kind words to him, because God knows he needs it. And maybe we could send some flowers. All of us could send some flowers to Josh, all his family. You guys blew him up with DoorDash orders. Maybe you could do that with some nice words, cards, and flowers. And please, for the love of God, leave the trolling out of this. Leave his family alone. If you don't have anything nice to say, you don't need to say anything at all. You really don't. You're not smart, you're not funny, you're not edgy. Just leave it. And like I said, I'm really sorry to Clint and his family that it took circumstances like these for everyone to get together and share their love of Josh, because he was loved. And I would have loved to have a beer with him and sit down and just talk. I would have loved that. I'll probably keep this up for a little while, and anybody who's sort of looking for videos about Josh or to sort of share their kind words and maybe reminisce about him, use this as a comment platform for that. But any negative posts or hateful comments will be immediately deleted and banned from my channel. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. But if anyone else out there is struggling with depression, just know you're not alone. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. Rest in peace, Josh Faye Saunders. My heart goes out to you, Clint, and the rest of the family. We love you, Josh. Fuck sickos. Fly high with Ozzy, man.